Hello, and welcome back to another Sunday sector review, where we like to say Sundays are for sectors. This past week's volatility was it was a bit slow, and we had a slow grind up. Nonetheless, we did push up, and we did not tap into our all-time highs, but we pushed up above our previous month's high, but we did close back under it. But before we get into that, let's talk about where our volatility this week will come from. As we go into our Forex factor, we see for this week, red folders will start on Tuesday. Although it still says tentative, we're going to look at ADP weekly employment change. We do have jolts. And Wednesday, our big dance will be employment costs, federal funds rate, and of course FOMC. So we'll be looking out for that. And Thursday we'll have unemployment claims. So Wednesday we will see what our Fed Jerome Powell has to say about interest rates for the remainder of the year and going into next year. The new candles that are opening this week are, of course, the weekly, the 2 week, the 3 week, the 4 week, the 6 week, the 8 week, and the 12 week. So no daily candles opening up on Monday, just all weekly candles. So I'll probably move through those really quick. If any of you were not aware, last week there were a few sectors that had stock splits. This is something that does not happen often, but yet it does happen. And the ones that did have a stock split, and you may need to adjust your trading software, will be XLY, XLU, XLK, XLE, and XLB. If there's any ones that I missed, just drop them down in the comments, but I believe that is it. So without further ado, let's get into these sectors. We are going to start off with the VIX. We'll jump back into SPY in a minute. VIX on the daily. I still have these bearish price targets. We did on Friday tap into the first one, which is 1528. VIX did close at 1540. We can go through these. The weekly close 2-2 continuation to the downside with barely any wick. I am looking for a sweep to as low as 1412. We do have to get through 1493 first, but I do have a sweep here. 2 week, 3 week. 3 week closed as a bearish outside candle. The 4 week 2-2 continuation to the downside. 6 week closed as an inside shooters, and this is all ugly. So yeah, and so far, even although the monthly it did just open, we're in our first week. We have already triggered 2 down on the month for VIX. So just keep that in mind. SPY on the daily closed. I guess we can call this a shooter, like I was explaining in the intro. We did tap up into 688 area and then rejected, which is also an order block here on the daily. So we tapped it and proceeded to come back and close under our previous month's high. The weekly closed as a 2-2 continuation to the upside. So I mean, not bad for SPY. 3 week close as a fail to down hammer. So all that's left is to make new all-time highs for SPY. ES on the daily. Again, closed as a shooter on the daily. If there's some downside to be had. Oh, let me go back because there is a gap here. I meant to mention on SPY. SPY does have a downside gap at 672 to 675 even. That can be filled. Once we reach all-time highs, or if this shooter wants to come back down and catch this downside liquidity, I'm looking at 678.84 for a possible retracement back up. But if not, there is a gap here that can be filled. So will FOMC bring the gap, or do we continue up? This right here is our support for me. So 678.81. As long as we don't lose that, I feel like SPY has a good chance, to stay to the upside. Full time frame continuity is bullish. So yeah. But just beware, there is a gap to the downside. Okay, so back to ES. Pretty much the same. Here is where I would like a possible sweep if we do come back down to the downside. We to 6,800 even. The daily close as a shooter, we did not tap our previous month's high at 69.09, unlike SPY did. So we want to look out for that. All-time highs, we are still intact at 69.53. So we'll look out for that. As long as we can stay above 68.30, really 68.30. But if we lose 68.50, in my eyes, if we lose 68.50, then we're coming down to 68.36 and could possibly test the 6,800s that I just spoke about. So we'll look out for that. We can run through. We did close 2-2 continuation to the upside on the week. Still want to target these highs. We are closer to the highs than we are to the lows. Just want to make both sides clear. The 2-week closed as a 2 up. 3-week, a failed 2 down hammer. 4-week, failed 2 down hammer. The 6-week closed as an outside bullish doji, but it is at the top of a range. So it is at the top of a broadening. So just watch for that. On the 8-week closed as a 2-2 continuation. 12-week, the same. And so far the monthly, we are inside month, which makes sense. We are inside month. So just trying to catch all-time highs from here. NQ. The daily closed as a 2 up. Same candle as ES. Did we? We have not reached monthly highs as well on NQ. ES is closer, so our queen has to catch up. We did close right at previous day high, so we are 2 up on the daily. The weekly closed as a 2-2 continuation to the upside. The 2-week, same, 2 up on the 2-week. The 3-week closed as a failed 2 down hammer on the 3-week. Same for the 4-week. The 6-week closed just like ES with this outside bullish 6-week. The 8-week 2-2 continuation to the upside. The 12-week the same, and the monthly is inside as well. Just looking to tag first our previous month high and then aim back for all-time highs for NQ. Full time frame continuity is to the upside, so we will play what we see. Downside, I would see support at 25 to we'll say 25 to 50, or 50% of the previous month. So Qs, I know they are the same, so we'll just run through the candles. 2-2 continuation. To the upside on the weekly, we want to see it tap its monthly previous month's high, as well as all-time highs at 637.01. Full time frame continuity is to the upside, so Q's looking like everything else so far on the indices. Just needing to tap the monthly, previous month, and all-time highs. IWM on the daily closed as an inside day after tapping its previous day high at 252.66 and then rejecting, coming back in within. All-time highs are just 11 cents away, so as you can see, that would make sense as to why it's rejecting here. Probably waiting on all the other indices. So we closed inside. The weekly did still close 2-2 continuation to the upside. The 2-week closed as a 2 up. 3-week as a outside bullish 3 weeks. So we are anticipating a 3-2 up on a 3-week. The 4-week closed as a fail to down hammer. Like I say, tapping all-time highs and rejecting. 6-week closed as a fail to down hammer as well. 8-week 2-2 continuation. 12-week 2-2 continuation, and the monthly is a 2 up on the monthly. So full time frame continuity is to the upside besides the daily, but still looking to chase those highs. DIA on the daily, we closed as a shooter on a daily, closing below its previous day high, not reaching its monthly previous month high as well. Still chasing its all-time highs at 484.40. If we would like to come down off this shooter daily, we want to hold 477.61. If not, we definitely would like to hold the weekly open at, well, this was last week's open, this previous week's open. But the price would still remain the same. You still would want to hold at 474.40ish or 474.34. And not lose it. There is a gap here at DIA that can be filled starting at 472.20, and the body of it is 471.18, but if you want to adjust for the wick, 471.81. So I personally don't see DIA coming down that far, but hey, we play what we see. Like I say, I really do think it'll hold the 477.61. If not, 474.30 at the lowest. The weekly closed as a 2-2 continuation to the upside. 2-week is inside, so we could play the inside 2-week. A 3-week close as a fail to down hammer. 4-week 3-2 continuation to the upside. 6-week 2-2 continuation. 8-week 2-2 continuation. 12 the same. Then the monthly is inside. So full time frame continuity is still to the upside on DIA. SMH closed as a doji at the top of the range on the daily. Didn't trying to reach its previous month's high at 369.47, but could not make it. There is a gap here that we did feel. It did feel it and then came back within the range on the daily. All-time highs are still intact at 372.78. If we are coming back in to retrace, we want to hold 359.60. No further than 357.74. Again, SMH also does have a gap here on the daily. I actually will move this here and move this. We can do the body, the body is at 352.95. If you're adjusting for the wicks, it is at 355.03. But I am looking for this to hold. I'm looking for 359.60 to hold. If not, I'm definitely looking no further than 355.87. The weekly did still close as a 2-2 continuation to the upside, like the rest. 2 up on the 2 week, 3 week, fell 2 down on the 2 week, 4 week, same, 6 week, 2-2 continuation to the upside. Let's skip to the monthly. The monthly is inside, so that is SMH. XLB on the daily closed as a outside bearish 3 to the downside. I'm looking for a 3-2 down to continue. I'm looking. I'm not gonna lie. 43.40. I'm looking forward to first price target is 43.46, which is previous 50% of the previous month, and there's also a gap here. So there's a gap that can be filled on XLB. This is the daily. The weekly closed as a fail to up, so it swept the monthly and came back down within the range. The 2 week is still 2 up, but as you can see, we're finding rejection. Time frame continuity is mainly bearish. Like I say, I'm looking for it to come fill the gap to the downside. So bearish on XLB. XLC closed 2-2 continuation to the upside, tagging its 3-month open at 117.50 and coming back down a bit, getting a little bit of a retracement. The weekly closed as a 2-2 continuation to the upside. We just targeting all-time highs at this time at 119.55. So XLC on a 2 week, 2 up. I do like how we swept, and this bullish displacement candle looks very good on a 2 week. So like I said, just looking to aim for all-time highs. Let me see. Let's see what the 4 hour, we're inside 4 hours, so you can take that as your actionable signal from here. And first price target would be 118.39, and then target all-time highs. Time frame continuity is bullish, so like an XLC. XLE The daily closed. Oof. The daily close has a failed to up on the daily. We did tap the gap target that I had, so um, it was, which is also a high at 46.66. So it was just 6 cent off from this high, um, and it rejected. So we're back bearish on the daily for XLE, closing below its previous day high and its previous month's high. So probably want to look out for that. It is still a 2-2 continuation to the upside, but with a wick here. And now we're back. If you can see, we're back within this trend line triangle that I have. So once it break it again, here, if I do that, see, we're still at the top of this. I do believe that XLE will push through this trend line and continue to the upside. So, and yes, I know it's oil. So be cautious. With the day, how the daily closed, I would look for more retracement before going back up. So probably target 45.30 or the SR flip at 44.98 or 45 even if you want to, the psychological number, and then look for reversals back to the upside, because higher time frames are still bullish. And like I say, you can see it very well on the weekly that we are still back at the higher point of this trend line break that I have. 2 week is a closed as a outside bullish 2 week, so looking for a 3-2 continuation to the upside. And to tag 47.40, we have highs at 47.38. I'm sorry. So closing at 45.92, that's not bad. A $2 move for XLE. You could get paid off there. XLF, the daily closed as an outside bullish daily at the top of the range, though. We did tag previous day and previous month's high at 53.89, 53.90, and did come back within the range. Time frame continuity is still to the upside. 2-2 continuation on the weekly. 2 up on the weekly. 213. So looking for a 2 up to complete and just aim for all time highs at 54.50. So nothing left to do. We are still within this broadening. Let me see if I can cut this off and see. I do have a weekly broadening that's been here for a minute, and so we are still within this range. We are closer up than we are down, so just waiting. Just a lot of stuff. We're just waiting for all-time highs. Hopefully FOMC week with the red folders that we have this week will go ahead and push us up or push us down. We'll see what happens, but it looks like hopefully that volatility of next week will give us the push. XLI time frame continuity is mainly to the upside. We did close the inside day on the daily. The weekly closed 2-2 continuation to the upside. The 2 week did close inside 2 week. We are consolidating on XLI, but I still like it. I want to say, yeah, the monthly is inside, but we are closer to hitting all-time highs than anything. So it's either range or all-time highs for a lot of these. So yeah, but I do like XLI still. Like I said, time frame continuity is mainly bullish. We looked at the 2 week. The inside 2 week. 3 week is a fail to down. 4 week, same. 6 week, we are a bearish outside 6 week at the top of the range, so you would want to watch out for that. But I think all it's going to do is just chop. So anything in XLI, probably just buy some February's. So yeah, inside month. XLK was one of my favorites. XLK on the daily close, we gapped up and we closed as a 2 up. So the weekly closed as a 2-1-2 up on the weekly. Like I say, looking for all-time highs at 153. Previous month high at 152.11. I want to say, yeah, XLK was one of the ones that did get the stock split. So if you're looking like, remember we talked about the stock split. So yeah, our all-time highs now are at 153 even. Just looking to aim for that. 2 week close is an inside 2 weeks, so nice actionable signal there. 3 week close as a fail to down hammer, just like most of these, and the monthly is inside. So good risk to reward, nice monthly from here. I don't know. Buy some February's. XLP, I looked at. I don't know. I'm not liking this too much. Giving me mixed signals. The daily closed as a shooter on the day. We did week previous day high and then came back down and nearly closed below the daily open. We were saved, I'm assuming, by the bell. So not really favorable on how the day closed with this wick. The weekly close as a fail to up, wicking above its previous month open and then peaking back down, and yeah, so weekly, the 2 week, it is still a 2 up on the 2 week, but like I said, the rejection here has got me kind of iffy. So 3 week. Let's see. Let's go down to 2 day. We are inside 2 day. When we get a new 2 day, we get a new 2 day Tuesday. So, as well as a 3 day. So it's looking bearish for me. It's looking bearish. If we continue to hold this 78.14 area, then there's hope, but I think it would chop. I don't think it'll push up. If it's just probably just gonna hold and consolidate in this area. We are back below the yearly open, so I would like to see it get back above the yearly open before I become bullish again on XLP. So that's my stand on that. XHB is another one I was bearish on. Time frame continuity is to the downside. The daily did close as a 2-2 continuation to the downside after hitting Wednesday, after making a high at it pushed above its previous month high and has since been rejecting. As shout out to ADEX, as he called it, we are now having a CCRP to the downside after pushing up. So I am looking to target 106.40 and then also 105.47, which is the yearly open. Looking for reactions there at the yearly open, but those are my price targets to the downside. The weekly closed, look at that. The weekly close as a fail to up, like I said, tagging its previous month high and then rejecting and coming back down through all of this. So looking for the weekly to follow and take this down, a 2 down on the weekly. The 2 week is still bullish. It's 2 up, but like I say, the rejection here. And let's see what the monthly. The monthly is a fail 2 up on the monthly. So, like I say, looking for more downside on XHB. XLRE still in this compression, so we can skip. And it's inside month, so nothing to talk about. XLU on the daily, yeah, we're bearish. You see that? We have been going down. XLU was also another one that did the stock split, so we tagged its previous month high at 45.35, and as you can see, have been going down ever since. The weekly was horrible. No wick in sight. Yeah, XLU. First target, I'm looking at 41.84 off the muscle. So 2 week, yeah, it didn't even wick. So yeah, looking for a 3-2 down on the 2 week for XLU. What happened? 41.84 first target and 40.88 for XLU. Let's see what the monthly looks like. Ooh, yeah. Bearish on XLU. And there you have it. Yeah, very bearish on XLU for now. So it tagged its all-time highs back in October, and it hasn't recuperated since. XLV has been doing outstanding, so it is fair for me to say it deserves this pullback. So yeah, looking for XLV to come back down to 150.89, closed at 153.26. So a nice little $3 move. Not too bad. There is a gap here, if you can see it. Let me turn that off. Gap here, yes. So that wouldn't be bad. Yes, go ahead and retrace. Not too bad. The weekly closed as a 2 down. Its first red candle after 3 consecutive weeks. So like I said, looking for some downside. I wouldn't even mind it coming back down to this compression where it compressed before going back up, continuing to the upside. So the top of that, the beginning of that is 146.15. So hey, that's the second target for me. We closed as a shooter at the top of the range on the 2 weeks. So there's a good hint on that. The monthly is inside month. So for now, short term, for now, I am bearish on XLV. Just some pullback. XLY was another one that had the stock split. Its daily closed as a 2 up on the day, 212 continuation to the upside. Full time frame continuity is to the upside. Overall for XLY, the weekly close as a 2-2 continuation. We did get the sweep from back here. We finally completed it. And we tagged previous month's low, and we have found support there at 110.47 ever since then. So we're back above the yearly open, and we're just looking to tag all-time highs from here on XLY. The 2 week, we are inside, so there's your actionable signal there. 3 week, failed 2 down, just like the rest. And the monthly, we are inside month, so that's good. Good actionable signal. Looking for 121.70. And last but not least, XME. XME Daily closed as a failed to up on the day. We did tag what I had here. This was a price target clearly, and it tagged it to the T and rejected at 102.26. I had that there for a reason. Is it because of this? Maybe so. And so we are failed to up on the daily, closing below the daily, causing it to be red. Time frame continuity is still mainly to the upside. The 2-day also closed as a fail to up. The weekly did close as a 2-2 continuation to the upside. 2 week is 2 up on the 2 week. The 3 week also closed as a bullish outside 2 weeks. So we're looking for a 3-2 continuation to the upside. 2 tag all-time highs at 111.09. 4 week failed to down hammer, and if we go to the monthly, 2-2 continuation to the upside. So we 2 up on the month. So if we can get back above 102, I do see XME hitting all-time highs. Like I say, time frame continuity is mainly bullish. And yeah, that is it. That is our sector review, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to try to make this as quick as possible. Like I say, most things are aiming for all-time highs, so not much to do up here. To recap, I am bearish on XLV, XLU, XLB, XHB. I am bullish on XME, XLY, XLK, SMH, XLI, XLF, and XLC. For ES, we can go back to that real quick. If ES loses 68.50, it can see 6,800. If we hold, then we're aiming for all-time highs. Like I said, we have not hit our previous month high. We haven't tagged it, but SPY did. So we will look out for that. Again, we have FOMC this week. We want to see what our Fed, Jerome Powell, has to say, along with our other red folders for this week. So yeah, that is it. Thank you again for joining in for another Sunday sector review. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what tickers, what sectors you're looking at. What are your favorite? What is bullish to you? What is bearish to you? Are you waiting for FOMC? Are you going to take a trade before FOMC? Let me know. And let's see, from making it to the end, what are we gonna say? I should have had this, Jolts is Monday. So, Jolts. For making it to the end, put Jolts in the chat. Let me know you made it to the end by putting Jolts in the chat. So, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you already know, Sundays are for who? Sectors. Peace. Have a good one, everyone.